And when she died, she wanted a Buddhist funeral. All of that while she was studying with me at the seminary to become a Christian pastor. When I tell people this story, especially people in the West, they often get very confused because we're not used to that kind of multi-level, multi-directional thinking, especially when it comes to religion. We tend to think of religion very monolithically, like big sweeps. Like Judaism is Judaism, and Christianity is Christianity, and Islam is Islam, and you have to be one of those or none of those. In fact, adherence.com, which is a great statistical analysis, tells us that the fastest growing religious category is for people that don't fit. Atheist and agnostic is the fastest growing religious category in the world right now. So, we in the West tend to use these big sweeping terms like Judaism, Christianity, Islam, 7.26 billion. Did you remember the number? Excellent. So in my 30 years of being a religious scholar and studying religion, I have tried with my students to get underneath the big monolithic sweeps that we make, because that kind of thinking can be dangerous. When we lump all Jews and all Christians and all Muslims and all Buddhists and all Taoists together in one category, what often happens is we think very linearly, and that leads to often prejudice and intolerance. 7.26 billion. So the thesis of my short 2-minute lecture today is that there is no such thing as Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism. And not only are Christians, Buddhists, Jews, not only are those people, not only are the folks in those traditions, not only are there different ways of being that, but I suggest to you today that there are in the world 7.26 billion religions. That's a much better way of thinking about the world in which we live. I checked it this morning. That's the number of human beings who live in the world, because at the core of what religion really is a human struggle to find truth, to answer questions of meaning, like where we come from, where we belong, what our purpose is, why people suffer, why there's injustice, what happens when we die. And those are very personal things. So my challenge to you today in this 2-minute lecture is to stop allowing monolithic thinking when it comes to religion. When the news says to you, that's a Jewish issue, or a Muslim issue, or a Buddhist issue, reject that kind of language. Look to 7.26 billion. That's the number of religions in the world. You have one. I have one. If you want to know about mine, you can ask. Thank you.